direction that you're going will show the direction that you're gonna take her. Women are attracted to us by things that we're following. If you a dude, you feel like you don't know what your purpose is. 9 times out of 10, you've already been walking in it because God's been preparing you for it your whole life. God can still rebuild your life and the things that you've already been through. It's built your foundation. So what's up? It's your boy Cakes and Darius in the building with another video. In case you didn't know, the title for this video is Why Every Man Should Focus on Himself. The Bible says whoever wants to save their life will lose it, whoever loses their life, the Lord will find it. Is you gotta find your purpose, and you find your purpose by following Christ. And you don't gotta be a Christian to watch this video, but you know, just hear me out. Listen to what I'm saying. When it comes to being a man, women are attracted to us by things that we're following our purpose. So when dudes be like, hey, don't chase a girl, chase the money. The reason for that is because when you bring a girl into your life, she has to see which direction you're going. The direction that you're going will show the direction that you're gonna take her. So as men being the leader, that's why being on your purpose is so important. So if you a dude, you feel like you don't know what your purpose is, 9 times out of 10, you've already been walking in it because God's been preparing you for it your whole life.
Nasty!
So even if you feel like you're somebody that's been crash out, maybe, and I'm not saying people who've been to jail, all people that have been to jail crash out, you know, some people are. You know, even if you didn't, I'm saying like, whatever walk of life you coming from, but you're in right now, like it doesn't matter, because God called us all things to work together. So if you feel like you're somebody that messed your life up, you gotta remember that the Bible says, I will restore what the locust and cake and worm has eaten. God causes all things to work. So even if you feel like you kind of derailed yourself, God is in control of time. So not trying to dump all the verses, but I'm saying it doesn't matter where you're at in your life, because God can still rebuild your life and the things that you've already been through. It's built your foundations. Think about some of the worst stuff you've been through, the good things you've been through, whatever. All those things you've learned from. It's been a learning experience, and it gave you the strength to become the man that you are right now. So when it comes to, you know, you leading a woman, you know, your future wife and things like that, or your current wife, she's gonna look at all of that. When you guys dealing with arguments, she's gonna look at how you overcame adversity. She's gonna look at your conflict resolution skills. She's just gonna look at how you carry yourself as a man. So all the things that you've been through in your life, that's gonna show. That's what she's gonna look like. So when it comes to you, you know, following your purpose and doing things that God's called you to do, those are things that she's gonna look at and be like, ah, yeah, I'm attracted to this man. And, oh, I actually feel like he can lead me. Why? Because I feel like he can lead himself. So going back to, you know, a couple videos ago, where I mentioned working out, you know, I'm not saying you gotta be the most fit dude in the world and stuff like that. I'm just saying that, you know, even if you're somebody that's out of shape, if she's just seeing you going in the direction, you don't gotta be fully there when it comes to financially, emotionally, you know, on any of those levels. She at least has to see you moving in that direction to have more peace, more comfort, and feel like she can trust you. Because I mean, even with y'all, like, I don't know if y'all got sisters, y'all got, you know, whatever, you will want your sister to be with a dude that has a purpose, that is, you know, moving in the direction that you can see, I trust my sister with this dude because I see that, you know, he's on his stuff and he's on the direction of moving towards that. So that's why it's so important that, you know, we're on our purpose and we're being consistent and persistent. Following your purpose, you may feel like, dang, man, this stuff ain't working. I've been at this for years and this stuff ain't falling through. Habakkuk 2:3, the vision is for a future time, even though it describes an ending. Even though it seems slow in coming, wait patiently for at the appointed time it'll come. So you can't focus on how fast you're going because, you know, we serve a fast God. God moves fast, but at the same time, you could be in a slow season. It's all about your perspective. Forget the former things. See, I'm doing a new thing, do not perceive it. So going back to the foundation thing. So if you're somebody that's been going through a bunch of stuff in your life, like, dang, I went through this, I went through that, I've been through like 5 heartbreaks, I went through this, I went through that.
Tragic!
All those things built your foundation, so that's why, you know, when that's more of a testament that things is about to happen fast in your life. So you've been through a bunch of stuff, you've been feeling like, dang, God just kept, you know, drawing me back. It's like a bow and arrow, you gotta pull it back before it propels forward. So as you're going backwards, you're like, man, I'm going in the wrong direction right now. It's kind of slow. That's because God is building your foundation more. So, you know, when you sprout into a tree or he puts more weight onto your shoulders, you have the strength and you have the capacity to hold it. The Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. If God is requiring a lot out of you, it's because he's giving you much and he sees that you have the ability to handle the much. So, as when a lot of times you feel like, dang, it's a lot of weight on my shoulders. Cast all of your cares and anxiety onto the Lord because he cares for you. So when it comes to, having a purpose, we receive that purpose from God. And through chasing that purpose, it can, feel a little draining. It can feel like, dang, been at this for a while. I don't got the money. I don't got the followers. I don't got the status. I don't really know what I'm doing. All that, you go to God for all those answers because, we're not God. We follow God. We're the heads of the household, but at the end of the day, God's the head of us. So the verse that says, you turn to the right, you turn to the left, God will guide you. God will guide you into whichever way that he's leading you, even with your marriage. God will guide you with your marriage. So I know a lot of times as men, it can feel like, dang, my girl asked me something, I gotta have the answer for that. And if I don't have the answer for that, I gotta figure it out. That's how it be. But I'm not saying that we gotta know everything. We gotta be transparent, we gotta be vulnerable, and we gotta be actively in communication with God. Because the Bible says, the enemy comes around like a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour. The enemy comes around at all times. So that's why we gotta pray at all times, pray without ceasing, put on the full armor of God. I got on a vest right now. This is protection. I'm still studying the book of Ephesians where it talks about, the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the shoes of peace, all that. We gotta put all that stuff off so we know when you're, and not even just when you get into a relationship. Before you get into a relationship or marriage, you gotta be one with yourself. You gotta be solidified and rooted in yourself. So when you get into a relationship, you dealing with certain things, you already confident in yourself. You're like, all right, this going on, I know how to do that. This going on, I know how to do that. And then even when it comes to communicating, you're not looking at somebody else to be your whole life. You're not looking at somebody else to bring something out of you. When I was younger, not now. I'm saying when I was younger and I was in a relationship, I felt like, dang, like the person I'm with, they can help me get out of my comfort zone, XYZ, and become more of myself. Which, iron sharpens iron. You should be with somebody that helps you, but I'm saying it shouldn't be to the extent of it's like, I need this person in order to do XYZ. Now, you need God. You need to be one with yourself. So that's why, healing is important. So that's another thing. Women will see if you've been doing the inner work with yourself. So going back to one of my previous videos, that's why I gotta see my other videos too. If a girl is, texting you, saying things like, oh, you fat, oh, your voice is light, your hairline receded, stuff like that, and she gets a certain reaction out of you. Two things of that, but she could be like, man, this dude's soft. But she's doing that to see how solidified you are, one, of your masculinity, and two, really that's how it is. She's testing you to see how confident you are in yourself. So, I know we all got insecurities, but God helps us with those insecurities. So even if something is an insecurity for you, don't make it seem like it is. So if you're insecure about your voice, if you say, hey, you sound like Mickey Mouse, just make a joke about it back. But I am saying this though, like, if it's something that you are like more sensitive about, just be like, hey, don't joke like that. But what I'm saying, if it's something that's, I don't want to call anybody insecurities like, but I'm saying, we all know that like, if something isn't that deep, don't make it that deep. So I'm saying that's another thing that women look for. So when it comes to working on yourself, following your purpose and things like that, those are all things that come along with it that God helps build you into. So when you come together, as one with your future wife and things like that, she's gonna see those fruits. So I know people call it SHIT test. It's really testing the spirit. The Bible says you gotta test the spirit. So a girl is doing that to test to see, all right, so just do really who we say he is. Even us as men, we test women too, but that people call it SHIT test, but it's really testing the spirit. You testing to see, hey, this girl a thought. Is she loyal? Is she this? Is she that? You doing those things to see, not because you don't trust her, but I'm saying as you getting to know somebody, you gotta see if they truly are who they say they are. So, even with me, one thing with me is I can't be with a girl that's overly sensitive. I'm not saying you can't be sensitive at all. You know, I feel like that is, I do like girls that are sensitive, but I'm saying sensitive to the point to where you're not in control of your emotions. You know, we're all adults. You can't be with somebody that's not in control of their emotions, like at any time. So I'm saying, it's all about being solidified in yourself, having a sense of direction, because when you come together as one, those are things that you know your future wife's gonna be looking for. That's gonna attract her to you more, and that's gonna really save, you know, your relationship too. When you solidify in yourself, you got direction, you know where you're going. Maybe she don't know where you're going, and you're able to, you know, help her more by, you know, reciting Bible verses, praying for her, things like that. Those are all things that's gonna help you, you know, stand out as a man. With the case of there, she made this for, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, you know, what other topics you want me to talk about. In case of there, some more.